Hey guys, make sure you stay and watch the whole video today. If there's one that you want to catch every single minute of, it's this one. We're not only going to be working on the cabin with some of the PEX lines and the drainage, but we're also going to be working with a new gadget for the tractor. I think it's going to help us significantly when it comes to loading and unloading our implements. So you want to see that. And then lastly, we've had a trespasser on the land. And so I'm going to show you some of that stuff and how we're going to keep, hopefully, those folks from visiting again. What's up, everybody? This is Brian over here at the Little Orchard Farm. Want to welcome you to today's video. My son Dylan and I, we are going to wrap up, or try to wrap up, the PEX line runs, as well as all of the connections and such that we need to make for that. So it's going to be a fun day on the farm, the day before the 4th of July. And so, yeah, let's do this. All right, so the first thing that we're going to work on today is going to be teeing off for the washing machine. That was one of the things I did not complete last weekend, so we're going to get that knocked out here. Uh-oh. So how are y'all doing hot water? Are you getting one of those space age ones that heat up the water right as they pass through?
Yeah, it's called a tubeless water heater.
You don't have a limit on how much hot water you can get. As long as you have the money to pay for the electricity.
That's right. The washing machine box and drain line. We lost our other piece down there, but it's down there. Pull it back up. Lost forever. All right. Excellent. And that goes all the way up to the ceiling. Hits that line going across. And then that line, that vent line will catch the main vent line that's over in the bathroom area. So awesome here, complete. All right, so for those of you who have been following along over the last several weeks,
you'll know that every time I load up Karen's bush hog, man, we struggle mightily with the PTO. And so I went out and I purchased a PTO Link. All right, so this is a two-piece mechanical component. It's got a pull pin here so that when you pull it, you should be able to, and again, I'm trying to do this with one hand or two hands, but if this is normally on the PTO, there we go, it comes just off like this. And so this is going to go on our implement. This is going to go on the PTO shaft of the tractor. And then the ideal is that all you got to do is get close enough to pull that up to engage it. So let's grease this one up real quick.
Because he's a grease monkey.
I'm a grease monkey, that's right. All right. And so we're just going to slide this bad boy on here. Lock it in. We're going to take the other piece and grease it as well. Perfect. I'm going to slide it on, just like so. All right, that's on. Now then. All right, so now Dylan, what I'll have you do is I'll have you back up. Push it down, turn to the left, or turn to the right.
Get ready when it's working.
It is working. All right, as you can see, we've got the new PTO Link on there. Dylan, disengage the PTO. See how hard it's going to be to get it off. Let's see. Oh yeah. Okay. I could definitely get used to that. All right, let me disengage everything, Dale. Well, there you have it. It took me a few minutes to get the PTO latched onto the tractor because the shaft on the bush hog, the bush cutter would not turn, and so that gave me a little bit of problems. But once we actually raised it up to where the shaft was in line, there wasn't like a kink in it or whatnot, it moved freely and it went right on. It was awesome. So needless to say, I think that was a good investment. But let me know what you think. Have any of you tried the PTO Link? This is not a paid endorsement by them by any stretch. I'm certainly not getting anything to try their product, but we're going to run it and we're going to see. We're going to kind of see the performance that it provides. Performance and convenience. Let's be honest. Sitting out there fighting that PTO is miserable. We could spend 10, 15 minutes just loading it up and getting her set. And even with the difficulty that I had getting it off and running, it still only was like 5 minutes.
So I can tell you that once we get the kind of the kinks wore out of it, and we start using it and understanding how it best hooks up and whatnot, man, I can see that taking like less than a minute to hook up. And that is awesome. Well, all right. Well, I think that's going to wrap it up for Dylan and I here at the cabin. Boy, we got a lot of good stuff knocked out today. I feel good about where we are. Tomorrow, we're going to do a little family time. I think I'll bring you guys along for a little bit of that little journey as we celebrate Independence Day, 4th of July, and do what's really, really important, which is spending time with family. Happy 4th of July. We are going to have some fun today. So what we're doing is we're actually on the pontoon boat, and we're going out to meet Karen's parents, who have a houseboat up here on Center Hill Lake, and we're looking for them. They're docked out somewhere in one of these sloughs, and so we're going to try to find them and probably get wet today.
We're going to get wet. There's no thinking we might.
We're going to get wet. Boom.
Huge.
Huge. Well, the only thing I'm catching is a small buzz.
You're doing a great job of it, baby.
Thank you. I'm keeping an eye on everybody, making sure everybody's safe. The fish are caught legally and catch and release. That's right, catch and release. So I may not be catching any fish, but I by far have the most patriotic color lure. Red, white, and blue, baby. Go America.
Mark. Oh.
Yes.
Oh my goodness, what in the world?
Nest.
Oh my goodness. What he does to me when he's It's only like a third.
We went to church one morning. Tim and Carol were at church and we're like,
Yes.
well, now that is how you celebrate Independence Day. Man, we had such a great time out at the lake with Karen's parents, Laura and Greg, and a bunch of the kids. It was really, really awesome. I decided to come back down to the cabin today so that I could finish up getting the PVC tied into the PEX, and getting a couple of the holes drilled for our drain lines. The big thing is though is getting that PVC tied in. I had to run by and pick up a couple more sticks of 3/4 inch PVC, and that was simply because I think I had enough, but I would have had to have pieced them together. And obviously the more joints and connections and whatnot, I think the more the more failure points that you have. And so I decided just to run by and pick up a couple of big sticks here, 5-footers. These should be plenty to get us done. So this last piece is the connector, and it's a 3/4 to 3/4 inch shark bite connector. Now I don't know, there may be a better way of doing this, but I'm gonna try this. If there's another way, then I'll have to come back in and do that. But this will go. No, it won't. No, it won't. What am I doing? All right, so I gotta get the piece that's gonna connect these two together. I thought I had it, so I got the wrong thing. But that doesn't surprise me, you know. Hey, but I did get the. We'll let the glue set up on the PVC line here. And then when we get back, the only thing will be left to do is to make that join right here, and we should be set to go with the PVC connecting to the PEX. As I mentioned earlier in the video, we had a trespasser come onto the property, and you have to be really intentional. Come down our driveway and go all the way back to the cabin. And they passed by a couple of my trail cameras that I've got set up, monitoring the coming and goings of people, wanted and unwanted. I have several neighbors that I have told that they are more than welcome to enter onto my property to kind of check things out until we get moved out here full time. And man, like any great farming community, they take care of you. And so I'm extremely grateful for those neighbors. So what I'm going to do to maybe try to thwart at least a little bit of just the free driving in and out, my plan is to eventually put an electric gate here. But until we can get that done, I think I'm going to try to pull some chain from one side, from one tree to another tree, and I've got a little sign here that I'm going to put up on that chain, and hopefully try to dissuade some of that unwanted traffic. So let's get this done. Now, granted, if someone really wants to get into my property, they can get into my property. But at least this right here will serve as a warning that that I'm watching. And so now I'm going to reposition my trail camera to one of these trees right out here so that if they get out to move the chain, I should get good pictures of them. Up to this point, I've only gotten pictures of the vehicle. And the one that I'm really keeping my eye out for has tinted windows. So I haven't been able to get a good view of the driver. But I will. If they come back, I will. All right. Let me get that camera moved real quick. Well, that's going to wrap it up here at the Little Orchard Farm for this weekend. We hope that you guys had a wonderful 4th of July. If you're in the States, if you're elsewhere around the world, hey, thanks for joining us anyway. We hope that you guys had a good time with us this weekend as we shared not only some of the cabin work, we got the PTO Link for the tractor, which was awesome. I can't wait to use that thing. We obviously took care of hopefully discouraging unwanted guests from coming onto the property. So it's been a pretty action-packed weekend. Listen, we hope that you guys have a wonderful week, a very blessed week. And until we see you again the next time, we will see you.